Hello Internet, this is Scott with Scott's Garage, and today I'm working on my 2012 Ford Fusion. In this video I will show you how to replace the rear lower control arms. So please note I already have the vehicle on jack stands. You'll need just two rear jack stands firmly underneath the frame of the vehicle. Make sure you have that correct. And I have this on 4 jack stands. I'm doing some other projects. You'll just need 2. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to remove the bolt that holds the upper control arm for the rear here. This is a 15 millimeter. The nut is welded on, just so you know. And now when this comes out, the whole thing will drop down. You're going to have the force of the spring here from the lower control arm. And with this off, again, it'll drop down, just so you know. Okay, what I'm going to do next is 2 things. I'm going to put a jack stand, and it's actually a motorcycle lift stand that I have in my garage, but I'm going to put it underneath here just to support it where it's at right now. Then I'm going to take another jack, a floor jack, and I'm going to raise it to that point, not any higher, but to that point, and then I'll be loosening I don't know what else to call this. This is, I would call it a spindle, but loosening the bolt that holds the lower control arm to this part. And once the bolt is out, then I'm going to carefully lower the jack. There's still tension in that spring, and you want to unload it carefully. So that's the next procedure. Okay, this too is a 15 millimeter. Okay, so I lowered the floor jack down. You can see that the lower control arm down here came detached to the spindle, for lack of a better word. And so the spring no longer has built-in energy. It's been released slowly, safely. And I'll lower the floor jack now, and I'll continue to take the second bolt out. There's actually 2 bolts to take out down here. I forgot about this thing up here is called the sway bar link. And so you just have to remove the bottom side here. This is the bolt and the nut on the back side. And once you remove the bolt, once we pull down the lower control arm, it'll just go right through that. And then the other bolt is up here. We have the exhaust or tailpipe there. This is a camber nut. So it's meant to really adjust the lower control arm. You can you see the other side. Well, here you can basically toe in, toe out through this lower control arm on the rear. Once we're done with this project, we'll have to get the entire car aligned, all 4 wheels. Okay, my parts have arrived. Via FedEx. Hey, how's it going? That's what I need. I have another package for FedEx today too, but you don't have it with you? Okay, this lower control arm on the passenger side. It's kind of hard with the tailpipe right there, but it's reasonable. It's a 15 millimeter. You have to get it with the open end. Okay, there it is. There's the old one. Okay, just want to show you something on these lower control arms for the rear. There's the vehicle right there. So this is how they would appear at the rear of the vehicle. It's the short arm on the outside, the longer arm goes on the inside. And you might say, well, they're identical looking at the two, but the one difference that I found is that if you look at right down here where the bolt goes through, right there, excuse me, where the bolt goes through for the sway bar link, the bolt comes out towards the back of the vehicle. Okay, like that. And the threads are on the inside. So if you got these flipped around, it's not going to work, because in this way the threads would be on the outside rather than the inside. So that's just one way to tell the two apart. So when you put them in place, again, the threads have to be on the inside. Now, I only have taken one off so far. So this is the passenger side rear original. You can see the threads are on the inside, and likewise threads are on the inside. All right, I'm going to go put this thing in place. Don't forget to put this in place. Now, this came off the original. These do wear out over time, but these are so important because otherwise you're going to hear a clanking noise. When you have metal to metal, spring to spring, metal spring to the spring of this lower control arm, every bump you hit, it's going to be clunk, clunk. This softens it. So if you notice that little ridge thing right there, it just fits into place. And be sure you put that in place before you install the new one. Okay, I'm about ready to raise the floor jack and put the new lower control arm in. What I did is I attached the top bolt. You can see it back there. That's in place, not tight, but it's in place, and then that acts as a hinge. Now the spring, make sure that it's correct, and that little nylon seal that it's turned correctly. You can manipulate this thing right here. The yellow thing just moves it. You can just move it so that the spring goes in place. Make sure likewise too that the rubber thing on top here is in place correctly around the spring. And what I'll do is just carefully raise the jack and position it in place.
They just want the same thing. They don't want to constantly.
Okay, we want to load everything, and what I mean by that is I'm going to raise the floor jack until the wheel hub comes, the measurement we measured here, so 15 inches from the top of the fender well to right here. And when it reaches that mark, I'll stop and then I'll tighten everything down. Okay. Sure, check torque settings on major bolts in that, the setting that it should be. Hey, thanks for making it this far in the video. If you like the video, please hit like. It costs you nothing, but is of great value to me. Please also consider subscribing to Scott's Garage and hit the bell notification for upcoming videos. Now, I am not a professional mechanic. I'm simply a backyard mechanic, a do-it-yourselfer. I've loved working on cars since my teenage years. This literally is my garage. Would love to have you come back and watch another episode of Scott's Garage. Please also consider downloading the Brave browser. Now, I heard about Brave for months. Various YouTubers didn't check it out, but I did a couple months ago. Absolutely love it. I've been using it ever since. It's very fast, very safe, very secure, very unique. You can disable all ads if you want to, or you can get paid to watch ads using the Brave browser. Check it out. Have a great day.